What's good, Vikings Nation? Skol Vikings. We're diving into the hottest topic buzzing around Minnesota right now. Trade rumors swirling about a potential game-changer for our secondary. The 2025 NFL season is creeping closer, and with training camp kicking off soon, the Vikings defense is under the microscope. Could a blockbuster move for a young cornerback be the spark we need to dominate? Let's unpack the latest on a possible trade for Cleveland Browns Greg Newsome II and what it means for our purple and gold. Buckle up. This is going to be a wild ride. So what do you think? Can we fix our secondary before week 1? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Last season, the Vikings defense had us holding our breath, giving up the 5th most passing yards per game in 2024. Yikes. Losing key secondary pieces like Cameron Bynum, who bolted to the Colts, and veteran Stephon Gilmore and Shaquille Griffin left some big shoes to fill. Our boy Byron Murphy Jr. is still locking down one side as a Pro Bowl corner. But the CB2 spot? That's a question mark bigger than US Bank Stadium. With Josh Metellus stepping up at safety, the Vikings need a corner to solidify the back end, and fast. Are we banking on Isaiah Rodgers or Jeff Okudah to step up? Or is a trade the answer? Enter Greg Newsome II, the 25-year-old former first-round pick from the Cleveland Browns. Word on the street, thanks to CBS Sports' Cody Benjamin, is that Newsome could be a prime trade target for Minnesota. Why? Well, our GM Kwesi Adofo-Mensah was in Cleveland's front office when they drafted Newsome in 2021, so there's a connection. Plus, the Browns seem to be cooling on him, with only 3 starts in 2024 under their defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. Could Newsome's untapped potential be the key to turning our secondary into a strength? Let's dig deeper. Newsome's situation in Cleveland is raising eyebrows. The Browns are strapped for cash with the highest top 51-player cap hit in the NFL. Over $13 million tied up in Newsome alone for 2025, his 5th-year option. Reports from NFL insider Jordan Schultz suggest Cleveland was open to trading him before the 2025 draft. And with their roster needing a soft reset, they might let him go for a reasonable price. Imagine Newsome at just 25, bringing his athleticism to Brian Flores' aggressive defense. But here's the catch, his 2024 stats weren't exactly elite. So is he worth the gamble? Let's talk numbers. In 2024, Newsome played 13 games, racking up 27 tackles, 3 for loss, 5 pass deflections, and 1 interception. Solid, but not spectacular. Pro Football Focus wasn't kind, giving him a 54.0 coverage grade and a 52.2 overall mark, below average for a corner. Hamstring issues didn't help, but a fresh start in Minnesota could unlock the potential that made him the 26th overall pick in 2021. Vikings fans, what's your take? Can Newsome bounce back? Or are we better off looking elsewhere? Now let's zoom out. The Vikings spent big on their offensive and defensive lines this offseason. Shout out to new additions like Javon Hargrave, but that left our secondary a bit neglected. With free agent options drying up, no Jaire Alexander or Jalen Ramsey on the horizon. A trade for Newsome makes sense. He's a low-risk, high-reward option, especially since Minnesota has $23.5 million in cap space to absorb his $13.4 million hit. Could Kwesi pull off a steal, or are we dreaming too big? On the flip side, some fans are skeptical. Newsome's role in Cleveland shrank last year, playing behind Martin Emerson Jr. and Denzel Ward. If the Browns don't see him as a starter, why should we? Plus, his injury history is a red flag. Hamstrings can be tricky. Still, Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores has a knack for turning raw talent into shutdown corners. Could he work his magic with Newsome, or are we banking too much on potential? Let me know in the comments. Here's where it gets juicy. Recent reports from Vikings.com highlight the team's focus on building around rookie QB J.J. McCarthy, which meant passing on drafting a corner in 2025. That's why a trade for Newsome feels like a perfect fit. Plug-and-play experience without breaking the bank. But the clock's ticking, with training camp starting July 20th for rookies and quarterbacks. If Kwesi's gonna make a move, it's gotta be soon. What's the vibe, Vikings Nation? Are we hyped for Newsome or cautious? Let's not forget the bigger picture. The Vikings are aiming for a playoff push in 2025, and a shaky secondary could be our Achilles heel. Pairing Newsome with Byron Murphy could give us a dynamic duo to shut down passing attacks. Imagine Newsome picking off a pass in crunch time against the Packers. Skol vibes only. But if the trade doesn't happen, are we stuck with Rodgers and Okudah? Drop your predictions below. Can our secondary hold up without a big move? Alright, Vikings Nation, it's time to wrap this up. The Greg Newsome 2 trade rumor has us buzzing. But will it happen? Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's got some tough calls to make, and we're all watching. Smash that like button if you're pumped for Vikings football, drop a comment with your take on Newsome, and subscribe for more Vikings news updates. Share this with your fellow Skol fans, and let's keep the purple pride alive. Until next time, Skol Vikings.